Hello everyone, my name is Fatima and welcome back to the Race Edit, and if you're new here, welcome to the Race Edit and welcome to my Unserious series. This week we are going to Belgium and I'm so excited. So for those of you who don't know, my Unserious series is I make unserious predictions about how I think the top 10 is going to fare, my win team, my L team, and my driver of the day. All Unserious edition. But before we get into any of that, I need to desperately talk about Hungary because what the heck? Can I be honest with you guys? I was like contemplating not watching this race because I was so extremely exhausted from the week prior. I was just so extremely exhausted. I was like, I don't know if I want to wake up and finish this race, but I always say that, but I can't miss a Formula One race unless I absolutely need to. It's just something, I can't do it. If I'm home and I have no plans, I can't miss a Formula One race. I've only missed, I think, one race this season. Even for Miami, I was out and about, but I was on my phone like, I need to see what happens, and I'm so glad I didn't miss Miami because we had a new race winner, which is Lando Norris. But let's talk about Hungary for a second. One, shout out to Oscar Piastri. I knew he was gonna win. My predictions, my serious predictions, not my unserious predictions, my serious predictions that I predict to myself before a race I was like, I need an Oscar Piastri win and I need a Lewis Hamilton podium. Now, was Lewis Hamilton in my unserious predictions? Yes. Is he always in my unserious predictions in my top 3? Yes, because serious or unserious, I like to keep him there just because, hey, anything can happen in my unserious predictions. It can happen. That's what I've learned so far. When it comes to my unserious predictions, they can become very serious, but I need to talk about Hungary because what the heck was that race? It was like a Drive to Survive race. The radios, yeah, I know Netflix was like, yes. I know Netflix this entire season is like, yes, but wow, whatever just happened in Hungary, they really won. You had Alex Albon mad at Williams. You had the McLarens messing up their own strategy and then trying to rectify it in real time. You had Max crashing out, which I need to talk about desperately. McLaren, you figure it out. You guys created your own problem and then didn't know how to fix it. Like, that was really McLaren. I can't even be mad at Lando. I mean, I can because he took so long to decide if he was going to be a team player, if he was going to be a villain. And that kind of like, the radios, I couldn't do it. I actually couldn't do it. At one point, I think I had to tap out. I was like, I can't. They were pleading, they were begging, they were sobbing, they were crying for Lando to make the right decision. Think about your team. Think about the children. Think about the consequences. Lando, this is not who you are. Buddy, please, we know we messed up. We know it was us. We did this undercut and then you got the lead over your teammate, but we need you to be a team player, Lando. Lando, please. No, I'm sorry. But that was pretty much it. And I was watching F1 TV after, and I'm so sorry. She was with Laura Winter. I can't remember her name, but I will find it and put it in this video. And she made a good point about how, like, while Will Joseph was, begging and pleading Lando to give the position back to Oscar, but he also has someone to answer to as well. Just as much as Lando has someone to answer to, so does his engineer. So I understand, but it was just painful. She said it better. I will find it and I'll clip it here.
Lando's engineer was clearly getting pout from people from above saying, look, you need to make this swap. And Lando's there in a position saying, well, hang on, I haven't done anything wrong. I just boxed when you told me to box. I drove a good enough stint. So why should I box? Yeah. So I feel Lando's frustration, but
like I said, I understand, but man, that was rough. And I just we know Oscar's not a overtly emotional person, but I just feel like I don't think it tainted his win because a win is a win at the end of the day, but I just feel like in that moment, it was just like, dang, I won this race, but my team is in disarray, essentially. Lando, if you're gonna be that guy, you need to be that guy right from the jump. I get it. He was like, well, if he can catch up, then I'll switch. I get it. Anyway, at the end of the day, the blame goes to McLaren as a team. They've just been having really bad strategy calls. Also, stop worrying about Lewis so bad. You guys did not need to cover Lewis in that moment. You actually, same as Silverstone, you're so worried about the driver from another team. Funny enough that it was Lewis in Silverstone and Lewis in Hungary, but you're so worried about him that you're messing up your own game plan. So when we go to Spa, figure it out. But that's all I have to say about McLaren, about Lando, about Oscar, I'm so happy for him. People have had more in-depth conversations about it, and I will link all of those videos that I've watched below. Tommo, Quick Stop, Red Flags podcast, Missed Apex, and P1 with Matt and Tommy. Yes, did I watch all of them? Absolutely. And will I link all of them? Yes, because I think they've had some really good takes on it. And I know Cameron F1 also put up a video. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. And Peter Windsor, so literally everyone's just gonna link them all below, because I just think it was, who's the one who made that tweet that the worst thing McLaren did was give content creators a conversation for the next week or whatever. It was hilarious. But I need to talk about Max crashing out, because Max took me out. No, you guys don't understand. Max Verstappen took me out. I was like, and I was in the midst of tweeting. I was in the midst of tweeting about Max taking me out, and then he did that dive bomb on Lewis, and I was like, bro, no, you guys, no, because like the Max said, shouldn't you leave a car's width? And then GP was like, we think you're behind at the apex, Max. And then he was like, whatever, man, or whatever, mate. I lost it. And that was right when I was starting to tweet. And then like I blinked and he's doing a dive bomb on Lewis, like, Max. But you know what actually took me out the most was the GP was like to Max, a medical delegate needs to have a look at you. And Verstappen, I'm sorry. I'm laughing so hard because what is wrong with him? He was like, if they send the medical delegate up to the stewards, maybe they can have a look if they are okay. I'm absolutely fine. Like, bro, you had a bad race. Your car was bad. I'm sorry. Take the L and keep it moving. Oh my gosh. Max was so funny this race. You guys know that I'm not a Red Bull fan. Verstappen's not my guy. Like, I don't go into a race hoping there's gonna be a Max win. If I had to suffer through 2023 and see Red Bull dominate and pretty much win every single race, yeah, I'm gonna have a fun time right now, because why? Chill. Take a break. Have a Kit Kat. I'm begging you. Listen, this is an unserious series episode. I am not here to give a detailed take on this, but I'm gonna, in my mid-season report, then I will do all of that. But for my, I just had to let it out because Max Verstappen took me out. McLaren really fumbled the bat. McLaren, how do you, you have a 1-2. You should be so elated and so happy, and you fumbled. You fumbled. Anyway, let's get into the unserious series. Let's talk about the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's talk about how I think the top 10 is going to fare. Let's talk about my unserious top 10. So, you know, who's going to win the Belgian Grand Prix? With the way Alpine has been looking, it has to be Esteban Ocon. And then, you know, let's give them a 1-2. So P1, Esti Besti. P2, Pierre Gasly, if his car is okay. And then for P3, I'm gonna have to give it to, I think P3, I'm gonna have to give it to Valtteri Bottas. Hey, they need some points, man. I love Valtteri. Like, I just want to see him get up. I need him to get a point this coming race. I need Valtteri Bottas in the points, because we can't do this anymore, Sauber. So P1, Esti, P2, Pierre Gasly, that would be interesting. P3, Valtteri. I think P4, I'm throwing Max in there, because imagine the Alpines getting ahead of him for the podium, for the win and P2, and then Sauber getting ahead of him for P3, and then here he go in P4. And I have to say, Daniel Ricciardo P5, Sergio Checo Perez P6, Yuki Tsunoda P7, which, you know, he's been so consistent in the points. I feel like that's not even unserious. Like, I could see it happen. Alex Albon P8, Zhou Guanyu P9, and then Fernando Alonso P10. You know, I think that works. Okay, so that's my top 10. Talk about my win team then. Okay, obviously my win team would have to be Alpine, because after I just said in my last video that the Alpines aren't even anywhere close to being in title contention, I have them in my unserious series in the top 2. Yeah, so, you know, hey, like I said, anything can happen in the world of Formula 1. We've definitely learned this past weekend. I'm gonna have to say Alpine would be my win team. If they won, if they got a 1-2 in Belgium, I don't know how. If they got that, they won the entire season, actually. Yeah. And then my L team would have to be, I did a McLaren last week. I think my L team would have to be Ferrari or Mercedes, because they're nowhere to be found. And like I said last week, you should be up there always. My driver of the day would have to be Esteban Ocon for winning the race. Yeah. And can I just say, Logan Sargent was had the second fastest lap last week in Hungary. Shout out to Logan. Okay. All right. Let me not jinx him because, you know, but yeah, I think that's it. I spent definitely more time yapping away about the Hungarian Grand Prix than I did with my Unserious series. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for taking the time to sit here and watch this video. If you did like it, please feel free to like and subscribe. I am on the road to 500 subscribers. I'm really hoping to get to 500 subscribers. Hopefully I can. Hopefully, if you guys like the video, I hope, you know, hey, you know, so if you did like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe it, and hopefully in the next month, I'll reach 500 subs. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.